Hey friends, welcome to another episode with me, Marquita of Marquita Makes. Naughty Crush. Naughty Crush is the name that I use whenever I'm selling some of my handmade items. So I guess you could say a business name, but I'm not really into business right now as far as selling my crochet handmade makes. I'm just too busy right now for that. But if you are here for yarny content, if someone sent you over, thank you so much for coming. If you're a subscriber, hey, it's so good to see you guys again. And we have a community tab, so there may be some things that I talk about or discuss in the community tab that I may not have shared in one of the episodes, and one being a finished pair of socks. So I crocheted a pair of socks, and today in particular I just thought about what someone asked me about my crochet socks. I love how they turned out. It's Berroco sock. I'll put the colorway name across the bottom of the screen because I can't think of it right now, but I know it's apple something. So anyways, that's what I used for the body of the sock and around the ankle, but here I used a different color. And this particular colorway was in the Nanette Wake Studio, what was the name of it? I think it was in her really Marquita 5, her 5, because I'm thinking one is missing, her 5 skein colorway of Thankful. I'm thinking that's the one, and it's what I use for the heel. Now normally I really like a contrasting toe for the heel. I'll start a pair of socks every now and then, and it won't work up the way I like, and I'll just unravel it, I'll just frog it. But this particular one I loved. I really loved how much, even in crochet stitches, that it looks a whole lot like the knit pattern that I saw worked up. But these are again Berroco sock yarn. Now I had, oh here it is, I had quite a bit of yarn left because for some reason when I worked on them, they look better to me as shorties. When I actually worked one of the socks to here, you can see this better, to here, and it just didn't look how I really wanted it to. I don't know. Just to me, I like them better as shorties. And I think I don't wear a lot of long socks. My socks usually stop a little bit above the ankle, but so I have quite a bit of yarn left over here and from the mini skein as well. So it's not, I don't think it's enough to make, it may be enough, it'll be enough to make like one sock. So I'm gonna hold on to the scrap yarn because maybe I can use it for another project. But it's a beautiful yarn. It is a superwash wool. I do have a kind of slight wool allergy, a major alpaca allergy, but this particular wool, it's a bit itchy. Don't get me wrong, it's a bit itchy, but I've noticed with wools, when I even like super washes, if it's a bit itchy, when I wash them a few times, and I have not blocked these yet, they're not as itchy. But the contrasting heel is a superwash merino, and it was a nice, not fluffy superwash merino, like it felt like a workhorse yarn. It felt like a 75-25 blend of a superwash merino and 15%, 25%. See, my favorite, my favorite percentage or content of merino is 85-15, if not 100%. But sometimes 100% is not what I anticipated to be in softness. For socks, or it's mainly sweaters, but I do like the hardiness of this superwash wool. It really feels that durability where I can really work it in, get my, dig my heels in, and I like that. But they haven't been blocked yet, so they're not as soft as they would be once that they're blocked. And I always stick my hand in to get to see the shape. That's what it's gonna look like on my foot. So I do like when I crochet socks that I can get that exact measurement by working it, but from the toe up, by working it while I'm trying it on while I'm working. But I really liked it. And what I did here in the heel, I haven't seen a pattern that does this. I've only made 2 crochet socks by pattern, but what I did here, and it's not very clean, it's my first time doing it, so it doesn't look very professional, but I really like it. Another thing I like, I'm going to share, what I did was, when I split for the heel, so I made my increases working in the round, and when I went to split for the heel here and put this new color in, I attached the yarn and worked single crochets. These are all single crochets except around this area there's some half double crochets, but I made one row, the length that I needed, because this is all based on my measurements, so I didn't really need to write anything down or follow any other pattern. But when I worked from here to here, when I get to the end of the row, what I do is, the first one I just worked it to the end, but after that I started decrease. So when I worked back, I decreased 2 double crochet, and I also hooked in, well, I split for the heel, and then I worked around the ankle part. Then I went back and added this. So when I went back and I started the decrease here, I also pulled in this I guess you could say foundation chain from where I had split for the heel and started on the around the ankle, the covering for the ankle. And I did that every time I got to the end of a row. So when I worked back this way, I decreased 2 single crochets and pulled in that chain. Then I work back this way and then do the same thing and then work back. So I only decreased 2 when ending a row, and then when I would work back, I skipped the first single crochet. I skipped the first stitch and worked back, and getting to the end, I would decrease and pull that chain into that decrease, work back, same thing. So it was ending, one more time, ending a row, decrease 2 and pulling the chain from the split, and then skip the first single crochet and work back to the other side of the row. I think I'm saying it right. And I would be decreasing the 2 and then skipping 1 and working back, because of course it felt funny explaining it because I'm not thinking about how I was turning it, but of course I'm turning it. I'm still not working in the round. I'm still turning my work as I go. So that's what threw me off explaining it, but it was really simple. Really simple. Like I said, it's not as clean as I would like it to be, because I can see some of the stitches aren't blending as well. But what I also notice is if I flip the sock inside out, it's a bit cleaner on the other side. And not only that, I don't know if you noticed the difference, but I like the look of the sock inside out better than on the wrong side is what it's called. I like the sock on the wrong side of the body part of the sock as opposed to the right side, and that kind of shocked me. And I have heard that some people prefer that also when they work with amigurumi, that they flip it inside out, and I don't know what that is, but I really like them inside out. So when I block my socks, I'm going to block them inside out. I don't know if you notice a difference. Let me hold them up side by side so you can see. Now, I started this episode talking about socks, but I have so much to talk about. I have had the best weekend ever. Ever, ever, ever. So this is the wrong side out, and this is the right side out. Do you see the difference? I don't know what it is, but I really like the wrong side. It's so pretty. So those are my socks, and actually I'm participating because I am about to start another set of socks. I want to make a pair of socks every month until the end of the year, and I don't know if I'll continue into next year making a pair of socks every month, because for whatever reason these actually worked up really fast and I don't buy socks anymore. I really don't have many socks and they're always being borrowed. So this is my first And hopefully it, right now I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram, so I might post these so I can officially enter the Falling Leaves Sock Cal, hosted by Denise of Earthtones Girl. It's Falling Leaves Sock Cal 2022. I don't know. I'm thinking about my love-hate relationship with Instagram right now. But anyways, love these. Proud of these. My own freestyle, just working in the round. Love the pattern. And so I'm going to interrupt the video really quickly to say that I'm going to have a giveaway. I didn't decide until the very end of the recording, so I'm going to put it in here, and then you can just check out the timestamps on the subjects that you want to see and talk about. But so it's going to be a little choppy, but y'all hang in here. Here is the giveaway and the rules. I'm going to post here what we'll have in a giveaway. We will start it now, and it will end at, the winner will be announced on October 1st, which is a Saturday. You must be, unfortunately, you must be a U.S. resident. This giveaway is not sponsored by anyone. All items are purchased with my own money. No affiliation to any social media, including YouTube. Oh, you must be a subscriber. You must be a subscriber for the giveaway. Sorry. And here it is. So, you will receive this bag from We Crochet. As you can see, you can put a sweater quantity worth, maybe 2 sweaters that you're working on at the same time. And also, it will include the crochet hook that I bought today because that's where I went in the store. And it will also include some double pointed needles, some chaugu, double pointed needles. And these are, what size are these? These are kind of chunky. These are a 13 or 9 millimeter, and this is a 6 millimeter J hook, as well as a little notebook for jotting down your thoughts or making notes, a few stitch markers, and now I'm going to share the yarn. Oh, this also is so cute on the inside. Do you see the crochet hooks? Do you see the crochet? It's so cute. It also has a really large pocket. Like, my hand's so deep in there. It's a large pocket. And it doesn't have a closure. I couldn't remember if it did or not, because I don't use, I have a sister bag, sis. I don't use that very often, but the yarn. So, I have to go really slow with the yarn, because I do have wool allergy. I mean, it's wool allergy and alpaca allergy. And it's funny because I lifted the bag and some of the fibers fell out or flew out and hit me like, whoo. So I'll just show these 3. And I can't touch them, sorry. They are extremely soft. One of the softest yarns I've ever touched, but I do have a sensitivity. They're so gorgeous. I'm so jealous. They're 70% baby alpaca and 30% bamboo. Gorgeous. 98 yards. So you have each. So you have 2 red, 3 gray. I'm sorry, y'all. 2 red, 3 gray, 1 blue. And I accidentally, 1, 2, 3. I accidentally put some soak in that bag instead of the main one. And I've got to put this away. Because it doesn't like me. Ooh, yeah. The fibers are flying, y'all. Okay, sorry. So, I'm going to make all kinds of faces. Woo. So, remember the rules. I hope that you like the prizes. I would love them. Especially if I could use, oh, y'all. It's so soft. And I think I think because it's sort of supposed to be like a chunkier wool, even though you can work it down like it's a more DK, I think that the needles and hook that I got for it are pretty appropriate. Now we're going to transition back into our conversation about socks and other yarny goodness. From there, I knew I would make another pair. While I was working on those, Denise had revealed that she had collaborated with, let me get the name right, Denise of Earthtones Girls collaborated with Woolens and Nosh to create, and it came in today. I'm just going to show you how much of me that this is. There's a picture right above me that represents all of this goodness, gloriousness before it even came to me. The only difference is, as that little hit of pink, it's almost like that hit of coral. Like, it's just like Marquita. It's like a little Marquita thrown in. So gorgeous. This is my kind of fall. This is Marquita in the foliage of fall. I'm all those pinky coral goodness, and then all the fall leaves around me. It's so Denise, don't get me wrong. I will not take that away from Denise, but it is so me. And I had to have it. It makes it even better. I had a little tasting of Targhee before, and I said I'll share more about it on a later episode. But Targhee is a really nice type of wool. I don't know a whole lot about Targhee. If I do a little research before this actually goes up, I'll post it right here. So if I don't get a chance, sorry, you just get to see more yarn. But if I do, I'll just put a little information about Targhee here. But this is it's a 90% superwash Targhee, and it's just 10% nylon. Now, from someone that doesn't know a whole lot about fiber, nor do I pretend to know a whole lot about fiber, I have this to say about it. It has a very nice wool feel. It doesn't feel, it says that it's superwashed, but it feels nothing like merino in my opinion. It feels more of like a traditional type of wool, but still not as toothy. So it's like kind of in the middle of, if you want something that feels hardy and can really take some strong wearing, like a workhorse type of yarn, but without that extra plasticky feel of the nylon, and it feels so natural, but yet you don't want it to felt, you want a superwash. And don't get me wrong, this is a soft yarn. This is a very soft, scrumptious yarn. You only hear a little when you give it a squish. Like I said, it's not a merino, but, and it smells, I rarely smell yarn, but this smells really good. I could smell it coming out of the package, and there was a tea included. I've never seen this flavor before, so I'm really excited about that. But it's it's 411 yards, and it is suggested that you hand wash it in cool water. I'm just so excited about it. And then it's called, the colorway is Falling in Love, and fall is Denise's favorite season, so it's mine. How do I explain to you guys? Like, I could definitely wear a sweater with this. It does not have the itch of wool, but it does not have that extra lush softness of merino. But to be honest with you, to me, these feel too good to wear socks. It's that amount of softness. So it's much softer than wool. Obviously, with me rubbing this all in my face, Targhee doesn't really irritate me. Well, that just felt funny. Targhee doesn't irritate me. It doesn't feel itchy at all. And I'm just going on and on about it because it's really all that. And yes, what you're seeing on screen, the exact colors. It's gorgeous, and I really do love it. So you can check Denise's website, which I will list in the show notes. And of course it's a set. Like, it's just, These are my natural raw fillings. I just received this, just opened it, and it's really gorgeous. I am one of those crafters that's all about the tactical aspect of crafting, so it must feel good in my hands. This feels great in my hands, but obviously I noticed that there is a difference from 100% merino, non-wash, superwash. I can tell that difference. It is not, it's not like as soft as alpaca, which I think feels so good, but I can't use it. I can't use it. But it's, of course, it's not that. It doesn't lean on that softness like towards cashmere. You know you're holding a wool, but it's so much softer than a typical wool. This is really nice. And I'll stop talking about it. Love it. Love it, love it. Let's see. I'm trying to put it in the white so you can see that this is not really like a brown. It's sort of a brown berry color. Oh, so pretty. Enough of that. Enough. So I'm going to hang these up or maybe roll. That's another thing I want to talk about. So like I mentioned, this is going to be just a really laid back episode. I just wound up by hand, and yes, I have a ball winder and I have a Swift, but I just wound up a ball, I think it's on a sofa, of gorgeous, a pumpkin spice by Big Sky Country. Wound up a ball thinking I might go ahead and get started, not knowing this was coming today for my next pair of socks, because I want to make a flavor of sock, a pair of socks inspired by flavor each month for the rest of the year. So the next one I'm going to do is pumpkin spice, which I love, for October. And I thought, you know, I at least wind up the yarn. But this came today, so this would be my second pair of September. Oh, this is just such a this is just my fall sock period. It's just gorgeous. But I had such a good experience winding the yarn by hand that I realized how much I forgot that I missed that. So I am probably not gonna do a lot of ball winding unless I'm working on a sweater and I just want to wind that up. It felt so good just to feel the yarn, just the rhythm, you know, that it's just as meditative as stitching. So I highly recommend that every now and then you just wind that ball of yarn on your own. I used my ottoman to drape it across it and just went around, and I was very comfortable and I enjoyed it. So those are my socks, finished object, and what I'm going to start working on. I'm excited. And again, I am not picking any particular pattern. The way that stripe works up, I'm going to use just the same type of formula for my personal vanilla crochet sock. I'm just going to do the same thing. It's just gorgeous. I know exactly how it's going to look. It's going to be perfect. And I like it in single crochets and some half doubles. I'm good. And then we'll move on to some acquisitions. Y'all, I'll leave my weekend experience at the very end because it is so not yarn related. So if you want to hang out to the end, I'll probably put some timestamps down. You're more than welcome. I don't even want to talk about it yet, but I'm so excited about my weekend. I mentioned in my last episode that I didn't know if it was going to come through, like if things were going to fall through, because I'm that person. I don't really want to talk about it until it happens, and then we can talk about it. So I'm going to move on to the yarn acquisitions, and then we'll save, like, my face is getting hot just thinking about it, so, oh my goodness. Anyways, yeah, my cheeks are getting a little rosy. So, acquisitions. Well, did I mention it? I mean, I've mentioned it, because I'm supposed to be such a big girl. My daddy gave me some money. My daddy's so sweet, but my dad threw me a few bones, and I went to my local yarn store. I had been wanting, before I grab it because it's going to be noisy, I had been wanting this yarn for weeks. I thought about it every single day. I checked they have a website. It's Thread Fabric. I thought about them every single day. I checked the website every day to make sure that they still have it. It's not the quantity amount that I wanted, but the price is more than I can ask for. It was on clearance, and I'm going to share it with you now. I can't believe I have it now. I'm going to have to find some more. Yeah, I did some damage, but it was a gift and I spent my gift wisely. Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'll just pull out one at a time. I got 5 hanks of a very new to me yarn, but I had imagined that one day I was going to find the most perfect, bulky, chunky, like kind of ecru, whitish looking, natural looking yarn. Y'all, I have to close my eyes so I can contain myself because I'm so happy right now. And I just knew that I was going to find it in merino wool and at an affordable price, but never did I expect it to actually happen. So I don't know if you're familiar with Kozu, or it could be Kuzu. It's probably Kuzu. So this is Kuzu by Urth Yarns, and I got something else from the Urth Yarns I'm going to show you in a minute. So, made in Turkey. I'm learning that I love yarn from Italy and Turkey. It's 100% extra fine, superwash merino, super bulky weight, 66 yards, 60 meters, 100 grams. The needle gauge is US 13 to 17, or I guess this is for crochet, a 9 to 12 millimeter hook. You want to wash it cold, lay it flat to dry. Oh, it is undyed. And the angel sang. I couldn't believe it. Now, y'all, this is an expensive yarn. It's $28.99. I didn't even know she had it. So, to be honest with you, I'm so glad that I didn't know that she had it. Because I probably would have cried knowing that it was right there and I couldn't get it. I had no idea. I don't know how I missed this yarn. But I'm glad I did because I got it for $14.50. Now, normally, I don't talk about how much something costs because the price has changed, but this is clearance. $14.50. And a lot of times that $14.50, y'all. A lot of times I'll share what I'm getting from my local yarn store with you guys. So if you want it, and I'll tell you they have a website so that you order. But ain't no more of this. Not this color. I got last 5. And I'm so happy. But there were a lot of other colors. There was like kind of like an Aurora Borealis type of mixture. So I had reds, I think purples, of course blues. I can't remember what all colors were, but it was the same chunky. Oh, y'all. Now, I have worked with the yarn similar to this. It was a big twist. Can't think of the name of it right now, but I made my Marley sweater out of it. It was half acrylic and half superwash merino, or yeah, half superwash wool. This is even lighter. And I guess because maybe that nylon or acrylic, the acrylic that was in it made it a bit heavier. This is so light. Like, I would not have the same issue with weight making that same sweater, but of course I was only able to get 5. So I'm thinking that I would maybe want to wear, which I never wear, a crop top, not with anything out, but with a button down. I've something about button downs this year. Wear a button down underneath it, but I don't know how much of this I can work. Or I would make a vest, a high-low vest, because I kind of like those. Or what I explained, oh, that's what I want to talk about too, y'all. This is going to be a long episode, so I hope y'all enjoy it. Or, as I was explaining when I was there, I can definitely see a cowl with possibly a big chunky braid, because I don't really like cables that much, but I do kind of like a woven looking braid, which is cable, but then it's not. I thought about that, but I also am starting to like the garter stitch a lot, so I may knit an extra long or wide infinity scarf and wrap it quite a few times because I really, really love chunky, big, where it's almost like a sweater. You know, it covers all of this. So I can wear, I don't have to wear a jacket or a coat or layer it with the coat. Love it. But there was red that I mentioned, a solid like red. I believe there was some type of blue and that Aurora Borealis. So if you would like to try the Kuzu, I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, then definitely check out Thread Fabric's website. And then they have the knit one, plant one. Urth Yarns plants a tree in Africa for each skein that's sold in partnership with Trees for the Future. And that's their way of giving back, and they have a hashtag for it. I'm so happy right now. So I have 5 of those. If you have any suggestions about what I should make with something, please feel free to ask. Another amazing deal was a yarn. I don't know how I missed these yarns in the store. Probably because I went in for something specific and tried not to look at anything else. But this is called Wacky Sacky. And the colors are coming up true to color. I take a little silent moment so I can put this in frame in case anyone reads lips. I try to make sure that my mouth isn't covered during, so sorry if I take a moment and I'm quiet, but that's why. Yeah. Let's talk about this yarn. So I'm not a fan of navy blue, but I really love teals and I like other variations of blue, and it pops so well with orange and coral. This is everything. And the reds, and you may not be able to tell on camera, but maybe you can. Where you see the red, that's not like an ecru next to it. It's sort of pink. So this is like a whole happy vibe. And it is 100 grams. It is super fine, superwash merino wool. It's 50% superwash merino wool, 25% bamboo, and 25% nylon. And it feels very similar to the Targhee. It is not shiny, as you know, it doesn't have enough bamboo for it to shine. But it has, the bamboo is just enough to give it really, really good stitch definition. I can definitely see that. Y'all, this is a gorgeous yarn. So on, oh, you know what? I did not see this. When I was in the store, I said, ma'am, I said, do you have a sample of this yarn worked up? Oh, I've got to tell y'all about the conversation we had. I didn't even ask her name because it was a different clerk this time. But I said, do you have a sample? And look at here. Now, this is not a crochet sample, but I still think it gives a really good indication of how it's going to stripe up with single crochets. I'm so excited about this yarn. And it's from my favorite yarn company. It's from Universal Yarns. Oh my goodness. It's so pretty. And I love that Universal Yarns too is adding the knit info as well as the crochet, like the statistics. So it says 23 single, see they're suggesting single crochets too. 23 single crochets for 30 rows. It's going to be 4 inches, and you're going to use a size, that sounds right. I use a size F5 or a 3.75 millimeter hook. I can see that. That's the hook size I would have used to make these socks. And then you have the knit is 28 stitches for 36 rows. They get quite a lot more yarn, don't they? And it's a they suggest, that's for 4 inches, a 4-inch swatch. And they suggest a US 2, that's a 2.75 millimeter hook. I love everything, everything about this, but this is another Turkish yarn. That's so awesome. I love Universal Yarns. And I think I got this, if it wasn't, I don't think, was it 50% off? I can't tell because I got 3 in case I wanted to make a sweater or a vest because I couldn't make up my mind. But I got it for $8.99. And I know it was on sale. It must have been half off. Yes, yes. It was half off. So if you are looking, I may make socks with these. They're gorgeous. If you're looking to make a pair of socks, you might like this combination. Okay, so it is, and it has a silent squish, and it must be because of the amount of superwash merino in it. That 50% superwash merino. It's pretty silent. You really can't hear it. This is a very smooth yarn. It's not ultra soft, of course. I mean, it's gonna be socks. But I love that durability of the nylon and the bamboo, and it's gonna have amazing stitch definition. So I can really see an eclectic sweater with this, and she only had 3. So I mean, I'm a large. I may not be able to wing that as I may be able to wing it as a sleeveless. And how much? 462 yards? I may be able to wing this as a vest or a sleeveless top. But I really like this and can't wait to see how it's going to work up. I didn't expect to purchase that, but I mean, I didn't expect to purchase what you're about to see next. But as soon as I saw it, I had to get it. I had never seen it before. This is a unique sock. Now, I shared before rainbow cakes. They're supposed to stripe up identically if you're using the same pattern for each one. This is a sample of a different colorway. But this is one of the prettiest autonomous striping colorways that I've seen, especially with green. Like, I don't see very many autumnal colorways with this much green and this, because orange is my color, this much green, this much orange, and yellow as this. And I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the box. These are gorgeous. And so I may start working on these now along with the Falling in Love colorway as well. Oh man, y'all, this just screams October. I didn't see that kind of purple. I mean, I have another pair of socks I may make that I'm planning to make in November, but these are October socks. These are gorgeous. Now, the stats on this are, each one is 220 yards each cake, and they're each 50 grams a piece, and then they're 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And the recommended needle size is US 1 to 3. That's a 2.25 to a 3.25 millimeter. I'm assuming you can use it as a hook. Now I would use a 3 point. I would either use a 3. I think I would use a size 3 millimeter hook on these particular socks. This is very fine. That colorway is gorgeous. I couldn't leave it, and it was on sale too. My dad. Shout out to my daddy, Tucson. Thank you so much. That money came at the right time. I really spoiled myself, and normally I put it to the side and I will hold on to it, but I just wanted to buy myself something this time, so I didn't save it. Well, I have a little left. I didn't save it, but I'm so glad he gave it to me. Now, what I had went in there for was the kuzu yarn and a hook for the next giveaway. And so the hooks were also on sale because, why did I mention this from the beginning? Because the store is having their annual sale for the anniversary or like birthday month of when they opened the store. So a lot of things are on sale. Y'all should really check out Thread Fabric store website. Even when items aren't on sale, they're still a really good buy, and I don't think that the shipping is too bad either. So check it out if you get a chance. But I got a Knitter's Pride hook. So I only have one, and it's a 3 millimeter hook that I recently used with, is it over here? That I recently used with my socks. And that's why I said with the, even with the Earth yarns, I think I want to use it again for another pair of socks. No, for the bamboo sock yarn. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's right here. Now, I did ask if it makes a difference if this if the plating is like just straight aluminum or it has like that goldish look to it. And I'm laughing because she was really funny to me. And I'm laughing because the clerk told me, well, you know, they have to do maybe I shouldn't say this, but she said, you know, no, they have to do something when they bring in the new stuff. And so this is just a new look, but to the, you know, to the old form of what works well. So, but my question to her was, do they pick the gold plating for a particular reason? Like, is it smoother? Does it glide better? And she's like, no. And that she'd been crocheting for like 70 years. Now, we're going to talk about her. I hate I didn't get her name, but I know that she's going to be working on Wednesdays, and I'm probably going to go back every Wednesday to chat with her. She's a knitter and a crocheter. She does knit sweaters and socks, but she crochets. And she recommended, and they don't have it there, but she recommended a new hook to me. I am not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of bamboo hooks. I like bamboo hooks for Tunisian crochet. And I have a set that I want to share with you guys at another time. But it's the only time I really have enjoyed wooden hooks. And also if I'm using a very slippery type of yarn, like a silk, bamboo, something like that. I didn't have good experiences otherwise, but she recommended Laurel Hill. And I'm very excited to purchase one of their hooks. I have to figure out which type of wood. They're all wooden hooks. I'm assuming they're all, you know, handmade. And what I noticed from the website is that there is a thumb wrist that you see kind of similarly featured in other typical crochet hooks that are just straight. They're not agronomical. I think that's the word. I always get that mixed up, but they're not that. And I've gotten really used to using those wider hooks in my hand so that my pinky doesn't cramp. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about using a more straight hook, which I have a tendency to roll so that my finger doesn't cramp. I roll it with my fingers, but she sold me on it, and I'm really excited about shopping for it and purchasing one. I think they were $10 a piece, of course, plus shipping. And she also shared with me, which I'm going to share with you, that they have an annual sale every year on Mother's Day, and for a set. And she didn't mention if anything else was on sale, but she mentioned the set was going to be a really good price. So to buy the set is pretty pricey, and I think there's like a 25% off during that time. So if I purchase this and I like it, I'm going to share it with you guys and see how it goes. But I'm just going to get the one, and probably either a G. A G is my favorite size, but lately I've been working with like H's and I's, and of course teeny tiny. But anyways, I was really excited to learn about that. She sold me. She had just as much passion for yarn as I do. I know people love it. I know they do. But you had to have seen how her eyes just lit up. And like she said, she's been doing this for 70-something years. I thought she was in her 60s. So I don't know how old she is. She's been doing this for 70. Was I really speaking to an 80-something-year-old woman that looked that good? Goals. She looked amazing. If I can get a picture with her, I'll share it with you another time, but I'm excited to try that. So one more acquisition that I want to share. I'm not sure if I've shared this bag before, but I've had it for a little while, and I purchased it on Etsy, and I'll put the link below. Her name won't come to me right now. It's very simple. It's like Amelia X Joy, I think. But her bags, now this is separate. Her bags are very reasonably priced. She is in the UK. I have no idea how her shipping is so cheap, so low, and she ships it remarkably fast. I get these within a week. How? And I hardly pay I can't say I don't pay anything for shipping, but it's not a lot. So she's highly recommended. This is not the first, it's not the first bag that I've purchased from her, but I don't know if I've shared the other one. I'll probably share it later in the year in the colder months when I actually use it. Next, I want to share this gorgeous enamel pen, and if you are a Star Wars fan, you know this is Finn, aka John Boyega. Oh my goodness. It is so much in his likeness. Oh my goodness. And I don't know if you could see, but it says, and obviously he was speaking to Rey, the Force brought us together. Oh. Another thing that I purchased on Etsy, another thing that sat in my cart. Actually, it wasn't even in my cart. I took it out so I wouldn't look at it, but I couldn't forget it. I loved it. And they also had a pen with Finn on it. And I think it says, not Finn, I'm sorry, a pen with Poe. I think it says, "We are the spark." What is, I can't remember. But check out their shop. It's a word that's hard for me to pronounce. It's like a Viula or something like that. They are also on Instagram as well. Look. And I don't have very many pens, but this is just, I love it. Love it, love it. We are at the very end of my yarny content. Where are we at? 45 minutes. Let me straighten this up. I have to tell y'all how my weekend went. That thing that I want to talk about that I was nervous about talking about because I didn't know it was going to happen. So, if you want to leave, you can leave. But I got to go to the Thundercat concert this weekend. He performed in Birmingham, which is like 2 hours away from me, on Friday. And I've been smiling, grinning ever since. Actually, I've been smiling and grinning all week, knowing I would go. But you know, just in case things don't work out, I don't share. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And one thing besides his performance that I loved so much was that he appeals to so many age groups. Now, although I love his music very much, I cannot recommend every single song because I don't like bad language in my music, so he will definitely use some language. So I was just there for my favorite songs, which don't have all that in it, and he was amazing. He is a bass guitar player. I'm pretty sure he plays other instruments, but his focus is on the bass guitar. He grew up in a musical family. His father played with everybody big that you can think of, and I believe he was a drummer. So my sister actually bought me a table because I'm still getting used to transitioning back into public. Like, my job is very public, but I'm able to social distance at work. I'm able to social distance when I go to worship in my congregation, and you know, and I'm very comfortable. But a concert was something I didn't think I would do for a very long time. So of course I masked up. I'll put a picture here. I masked up and I had my own table, and it was amazing. I was dead center on a balcony. I almost felt like I was alone is what it felt like, but I was surrounded by people, you know, around me, but I had my own little bubble. I think the security on that floor kind of picked up on that too, so whenever someone was too close to me where I didn't feel comfortable, I noticed one particular really nice guy. Someone was just kind of lingering. He actually told that person because they didn't have a table, they couldn't be there. It made my night even better. Like, I just felt so comfortable. So I'm so excited to share how amazing that experience was. He is one of the few young artists that plays real music. You hear everything. You hear the pianos, you hear the drums, you hear the guitars, you hear everything. Violins, you know. But that particular night, he had his drummer and his pianist, or keyboard engineer, whatever you want to call them, because I know they all have different names. And they were equally absolutely amazing. And I'm still just amazed that he could play set after set. It was amazing. So I can recommend a few songs. They won't have like real bad language in it if you ever want to know any of them, or look them up. But some of his stuff is like way out there. It's so not for me. But he has a huge selection of his music that's really clean, and those are the songs that I really like. He's amazing, y'all. He's such a kind person that he played, I mean, song after song, and he just got in, I think, from Florida. I know he's tired, but the crowd started to chant one more set, one more song. He came out and played an additional 10 minutes. He did not have to do that. It was absolutely amazing. My only dislike, only one, nothing. Oh my goodness, he was so sweet. There's so much to share. The only dislike was, even though I was in the center, there was a speaker right next to me. So the bits and pieces I recorded, the sound is not great. But had I been like to the side, the sound would have been amazing. So that's my only issue, was that what I took back with me from recording is not all that great. But you guys, I had an amazing weekend. Thanks to my sister, thanks to my parents. I just felt so much love. I teared up. I really did. I could not. First of all, I couldn't believe I was there. If you know me, you know how big of a Thundercat fan I am. So it's like a huge deal for me to go to his concert. And I haven't been to a concert in forever. Like, I used to go to concerts all the time. I haven't been to one in a long time. So it was great. And I feel great. Hopefully I don't get sick after this. I get sick after this, you know now. I got sick because I went to the Thundercat concert. But I sanitized, had sanitizer with me, had my mask with me. So I should be fine. But I want to share. If you love music, like I love music, I would love to hear in the comments below who your favorite artist is. So this is going to have some heavy edits. But anyways, had a long weekend, great weekend, long weekend. But thank you so much for joining me in my little discussion of my joy for yarn, my amazing weekend that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. And I just want to say thank you. You're all welcome here. And thank you for viewing. And make sure to take care of yourselves. Like I'm going to go take this allergy medicine. So I will see y'all again in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.